You're listening to Short Inspirations from Ralph. Bitter or Better, Part 5. We've been looking at God's purpose behind problems or troubles or injustice or unfairness that can cause bitterness. So we said that God uses problems to direct you, but then also, number 2, to inspect you. The third one is this: God uses problems to correct you. There are some things in life we only learn through pain and failure. It's likely that as a child your parents told you not to touch a hot stove, for example, but you probably learned by being burned. Sometimes we only learn the value of something in health or with money or in a relationship by losing it. Someone said our great teacher writes many a bright lesson on the blackboard of affliction. In Psalm 119 verses 71 and 72 it says, "It was the best thing that could have happened to me, for it taught me to pay attention to your laws." Number 4, God uses problems to protect you. A problem can be a blessing in disguise if it prevents you from being harmed by something more serious. Joseph, when he confronted his brothers who had abused him and sold him and wanted to kill him, he said to them, when finally he saw them as the Prime Minister of Egypt, he said, "You intended to harm me, but God intended it for good." And when you think about it, Joseph could have perished if he'd become bitter and full of unforgiveness for his family who had treated him like that. But God intended it for good. It was disguised and then it was revealed. Number 5, God uses problems to perfect you. Problems, issues that come into your life when responded to, that's the key, correctly, are character builders. God is far more interested in your character than your comfort. Your relationship to God and your character are the only two things you're going to take with you into eternity. Romans 5 verses 3 to 4 says this: "We can rejoice when we run into problems. They help us learn to be patient. And patience develops strength of character in us and helps us trust God more each time we use it, until finally our hope and faith are strong and steady." C.S. Lewis likened God's use of adversity to walking a dog. If the dog gets its leash wrapped around a pole and tries to continue running forward, he will only tighten the leash more. Both the dog and the owner are after the same end, forward motion, but the owner must resist the dog by pulling him the opposite direction he wants to go. The master, sharing the same intention but understanding better than the dog where he really wants to go, takes an action precisely opposite to that of the dog's will. It is in this way that God uses adversity. I think I've mentioned before that when I go fishing, the odd time a seagull will go for my bait when it's being dragged across the beach and get hooked. And it's a huge job to try and free the seagull. But the seagull can't see that you're trying to do it, so it pecks away at you when you try and free it. And you have to hold it by its neck, but not too tightly, you could kill it, to actually get the hook out of its beak. And that's a wee bit like us. Sometimes we get these bad situations, but they are there and designed and used by God to free us. You see, the trials of life are meant to make us better, not bitter. And there's many lessons we learn as children about this. My encouragement to you with this series is to be people who learn to let go of those injustices in your life, those things, even though they've been huge at times, that have been so unfair and not right. Somehow we've got to let go of those things and not let them pollute our lives. Let's become better, not bitter. God bless you.